Hi. So by now you'd already have understood there are benefits of concurrency. So now we'll be taking all those benefits one by one and speaking a little bit about them. So the first benefit of concurrency is that multiple things can be done at the same time. Not parallelly, but in a time sliced manner, something that we already discussed before. So if you're using your laptop, you see that at the same time, something is loading on your browser, and at the same time, you are able to play your music player. At the same time, you are able to use your calculator app, right? At the same time, you are able to use your text editor, all these things. So now imagine a scenario where this was not allowed. In that case, what would have happened? In that case, let's say when a particular website was getting loaded on your web browser and you were trying to enter some text on text editor, and now your text editor says that, hey, wait, I cannot work because currently something else is going on. Currently, the web browser is doing something. So in that case, you would have said that the text editor is not responsive, right? But what concurrency allows us to do is that it allows us to use these multiple applications in a time sliced manner, right? So that would ensure that we would experience a better responsiveness. So the first important benefit of concurrency is that it drastically improves the responsiveness. The systems are more responsive. They are not kept waiting for something. The second important benefit is, you have already seen it, the overall runtime decreases. Because if you are making use of the idle CPU time, then that naturally means that the sequential execution would have otherwise taken much more time, right? And we have already seen a very trivial example for that. So needless to say, the runtime will also improve. The third important benefit of concurrency is that with concurrency, you can really build fault-tolerant and resilient software. What I mean by that is, let's say you are building some employee management portal, and now you have a list of employees, and for each employee, you want to somehow prepare their performance report by program and then send it to them. So if you have a sequential program which is iterating one by one on the list of employees, and let's say for a certain employee you encountered an unhandled error or exception, in that case everything will crash. In that case, you will not be able to process the other employees as well. But imagine if you were doing all these things in a concurrent mode. So let's say there was a separate task for first employee, separate task for second employee, separate task for third employee, which was computing their performance report and mailing it to them. Then in that case, it would not have been a single point of failure, because as the tasks are independent here, even if task 1 fails, the other tasks would proceed, right? So when you decouple the tasks in this manner, as a consequence of that, you build a resilient software, which is much more fault tolerant. The final benefit of concurrency is when you have a hardware which has multiple cores, which has multiple processors or CPUs, whatever you want to say. Because if you have multiple cores, you have multiple CPUs, that means that tasks can't just happen concurrently, but also parallelly. So imagine a scenario where you have an array and you want to sort this array. Now you realize that you want to do it by breaking the array into 2 parts, pretty much like how merge sort does. So let's say you broke this array into 2 parts of size n by 2 n by 2, and now you want to sort both of them, and then you want to merge their results. Okay. Now you realize that sorting first half and sorting second half are independent of one another. And if you have a computer which has multiple cores, let's say it has 2 cores, so one core can handle the sorting of first part and second core can handle the sorting of second part. And then finally you can merge them together. So if we say that sorting the half of array, which is of size n by 2, if it consumes t time, then sequential execution would have taken you t plus the time taken to merge, right? But in this particular scenario where you have multiple cores and you have a concurrent program, the execution time would be roughly around just t plus the time taken to merge the two halves, isn't it? So concurrency has multiple benefits, and the benefits only increase when your hardware starts to contain many more CPU cores inside it. However, there are certain pros and cons associated with it, which we will be discussing in some time.